Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Reactor and after a long time I welcome you here on my channel for another video. The reason why we are here as the sun is rising, which is actually an accident because I'm trying to record this for like 15th time in a row because I keep stepping on my tongue for one and only reason, and that is nuclear power. So let's just jump straight into it before I screw this up again. So what you will need, we are running the Project Engineer 2 modpack, but as long as you have extreme reactors, computer craft tweaked, and technically mechanism, because I'm using the universal cables and the induction matrix as a battery, but you can probably use different kind of energy storages, maybe without the code modification if you're lucky, if they use same methods to relay the power information to the system, or you can just don't use the battery as a like control condition, because the reason why the battery is connected to the computer is to control the reactor. So if the battery is full, the reactor stop wasting your fuel, and to give you information about how much power you have in your storage. So let's first check up the small setup and see what the puppy can do in the small scale, and then I show you why this system is, in my opinion, pretty awesome. So let's just call the reactor control. I actually can choose this. Okay, as you can see, we did not find any reactor because I didn't connected the modem, and that's intentional. So as you can see, the turbine turned on, but there's no steam, so it's not spinning. We have our energy matrix connected, and you can see like this bar which will slowly fill up as the humongous 6.14 PFE, Jesus, I overshot it like hell, battery will fill, and as you can see we have no reactors, so let's fix that. The reactor is classic active setup, so no power tap, just fuel and fluid taps, and of course computer port, because we are actually trying to guide this monster. And we have Terra Steel inside, so if you want to use this specific setup of a reactor, you will also need Botania, but you can do with different moderators. You can actually go with no moderator at all, and this setup will still work. It will just not be so efficient. So let's turn this on, and sadly you need to restart the program if you change the configuration. Pop. And now we have a reactor, and as you can see we have our temperature here, R, which is Rot's percentages, excuse me, power, which is 0, and that is correct because the OS can actually handle even like passive reactors, but they are not so interesting, so I just didn't bother building one here. We have our fuel inside and our waste fuel, or wasted fuel, so plutonium inside, or I hope it's still called plutonium. Didn't play it for a really long time. Okay, now as you can see, our turbine is starting to spin, and you can see the RPMs, the output, which is still 0 because we still didn't met the condition, which is I think around 880 RPM, where the coils will actually engage and start to generate power, which will not take long. And as you can see, we have our rods going pretty ham inside of the reactor. and the reactor is still cooking like crazy, but it's dropping down. It's slowly but surely dropping down, and the turbine is slowly but surely going up. Once we hit 880 RPM, the spin no RF should change, and yeah, it's on RF, and we are producing power. We are producing 3 kilo KFEs, 3.6. Actually, it's maybe no, it's mega, right? No, it's 36 kilo. Didn't build the conversion there. Meh. I think it doesn't matter because the conversion is working on the battery and the battery is slowly filling up. Actually pretty fast, but the battery is big, so it is slow. And yeah, that's it. The reactor will wiggle the rods to keep the reactor core temperature around like 900-ish, 950-ish, which is most efficient for fuel. So you want really efficient like transfer to the casing, because that increases the conversion for the coolant, and that makes more steam, which means you can spin more turbines, which you can clearly see this thing is absolute overkill for this one turbine. But that was kind of the point, because even if we have such unbalanced system, we are actually generating power. It's probably not really efficient, but we are generating power, nothing is overheating, and we are wasting as little as fuel as possible, even in this like really unoptimal scenario. The good thing is, if something happens like your water runs out, your water source runs out or something, then the reactors will not go super ham and start burning all the fuel, because it will just stop them. If the temperature of the core goes too high, it will just scram the reactor, let it cool down. When it drops below the threshold, it starts to pull out the rods and just like keeps the reactor around 1000-ish degrees when it can. And as you can see, we are starting to get some troubles with it, the balancing issues. We have, like you see, we have fully clogged of vapor. This setup, like I said, the reactor is really overkill for this one turbine. But it still runs, and it will still run around same 1000-ish degrees on the end of the video. But let's jump around here on the other side, because I think this is what you will actually be more interested. So let's see, what do we have here. We have 2 of the reactors actually here connected to the same steam output, connected to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, yeah, I remember correctly, 10 steam turbines. They are same steam turbines like this one is. Again, like with the reactors, I know there are more efficient designs, maybe I know I can go bigger. That doesn't matter. You can go bigger, you can go smaller, as long as it have like computer port and you connect it to the network, it will work. We have 2 of the humongous 6.14 PFE batteries, and as you can see, we have actually 1 block over maximum size of the advanced monitor, which is actually needed for showing like all of the turbines and batteries and reactors in the setup. And you can go bigger. You can put the monitors next to each other, of course, and they will just like be side by side scrolled. It will go always like lowest number is like top, so monitor 0 will be first one, monitor 1 will be second one, no matter where it's placed, as long as you don't have this, which I actually need to fix. The computer cannot touch the monitor because the program will like act like there is actually two monitors, but it's just one monitor connected on 2 points, so you will get like flickering of the information on one monitor instead of like spreading them to multiple monitors. So that should be fixed now, and a lot of you probably are here actually just for this, and I'm not gonna hang you any longer. And that's the Pastebin code. Yes, I put the program, of course, on Pastebin. So let's do Pastebin get control and launch it. And bada boom! The whole setup is here. As you can see, we have our battery storage. They are connected via same electric line, so it makes sense, like it works like this. I maybe like extend the code in the next revisions to like show one batteries per each other, but since for this setup I built like two batteries which are same size, I just like let it show first battery. But to be fair, you should only connect to the one battery. uh, Second battery is here, just like I said, I was not thinking really much about it and I overkill it as hell. I mean, even the even the one battery which is here would be more than enough even for the big setup here. As you can see, we again don't have our reactors connected. Let's connect first one so I can show you the reactivity of the setup. And bam, we have one reactor which is starting to cook, and that will start to slowly spin the turbines. I didn't probably use like best technique to spread the steam, since it's basically just one branching pipe, so it will take a while and they will like slowly start to spin all. And thinking about it, I probably don't have enough current, right? Yeah, and this is what I wanted to show you, or one of the things. Our coolant went off, temperature striked up, our rods are going down, so it stops burning the fuel so inefficiently, and we will let it happen for a while, just to let the rods drop to some decent spot where at least it stops rising a bit, because the steam is coming back. There is some water coming back inside of the reactor, but as you can see, it's clearly not enough, and the rods are slowly rising down. They're slowly starting to like slow down the reactor, but we don't need to do that, because we can just use mechanical pipe here You obviously want to have decent source of water for your reactor. I was just leaving this starved for theatrical purposes. Let's just connect it here, set it to pull, and we should have water coming inside again. And yes, as you can see, the reactor dropped like crazy. It dropped to 300 degrees, and the rods are slowly getting back up. Also, as you can see, some of the turbines are actually starting to generate electricity, so that's also good. And let's actually connect the second reactor and restart the system. Or should I? Nah. I was thinking about like just launching the reactor manually to let it cook, but nah, I will just restart the program. Boom, second reactor showed up, and it starts to get heated. They are both on, like, they're identical reactors, so they will mostly behave like the same. And yeah, this is the reason why I needed the extra block on the top, because as you can see, the battery like charge bar is exactly the last line. I could probably just like squish these together, but that would make them pretty uncomfortable to read. So I think this is better, at least in my opinion. And in the short while, we will have our last turbine spinning. And oh, dang! One of them went actually to 3000 degrees. Holy hell! Okay, I will. Ah, it's the second one, of course. It just let him. It just let it cook. Will slowly push the rods back inside, so it will like cool down. It takes some while to stabilize, especially since the amount of the coolant which comes back changes as the turbines spin up, so it like wiggles the rods a lot for some time. Uh, but it will like equalize. As you can see, the first reactor is sitting around the 1000 degrees pretty much for last like a minute already, and the second reactor is slowly getting there too. I know it's almost cramped, but it will now start to rise the rods, and it will get to the 60 70 point, which is the first one, and equalize. And the turbines are spinning and spinning and spinning, and we are generating ungodly amount of power. I'm actually interested. Yeah, seems like the 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 best cables in the mechanism are surprisingly enough to handle the power at the moment. Also, the coil logic is still not fully done yet. The coils are at the moment set to disengage actually at 10,000 RPM, because I wasn't really sure how fast the turbine will spin. There, I will probably edit it if I during the testing now get to the point where the turbines would like overspin the 10,000, but I think they will, because like this turbine here is cooking like hell, and it's around 1500 RPM only, which I mean, it's rising, but I would expect it to be way, way faster since it's connected to the same reactor as all of these are connected, and they are spinning at the moment still slower, but basically the same. I'm not sure actually how much more turbines I could connect to this. I'm sorry, stay hydrated. But you can test it. It's really easy to do. Like you saw, you just use the Pastebin command. You just connect everything via cables and wired modems, and don't forget to turn on the modems. And it just works. Like that Howard once said. And yeah, we still didn't fail anything, even not one bar here. Let's see. Dang, this Pepe actually already is generated way more power, or not way more power, but more power than the small setup. But I mean, this is crazy setup. If you want to build this in like survival, I mean, good luck. On a lot of modes, you actually can do without much problems. I think like in modes like ATM 9 and stuff, there's like way more crazier builds and way more like efficient electricity, like fission and stuff. But if if you can just do this, if you can just like set it and forget it, which is the SAF in the name of the code, then I mean, why not? All I think you really need to do at this point is refill the fuel and get the waste or excess. So it's cyanide, not plutonium. God damn, I'm old. Okay, so actually, this is like only thing you need to take care now, and that you don't like lost water. But since you can easily do infinite water sources, it's just a question of having enough like inflow of water to balance out the excess coolant you may sometimes get off, so they like don't dry. Maybe they changed it in the newer versions and you actually no longer lose coolant. I'm not sure about that. But as you can see, like I said, both reactors are now on 1000 degree or around 1000 degree. All of the turbines are nearing the 1500, and we have really, really done it. It's as easy as this. Just connect it and start it. That's all. And that's also all for this video. I may do some update video when if I make a revision of this code for like work with different stuff, or maybe just work a bit more better, but I'm not really sure how can I make this better, because like it's running on the most efficiency, it's handling itself automatically, it will turn off when your energy matrix is full. I mean, if you will not be able to like edit it to work with different type of energy surges, try to let me know in the comments. But to be fair, as long as you can connect the wired modem to it somehow, and it has like it's made to communicate with the mode, it should be good. And yeah, also another tip, if you are using the induction matrix, you need to place the modem on the output port. So you need three ports on the matrix: the input port, the input port for the modem, and the output for port for where you pull your electricity off the storage. So yeah, that's another thing in mind. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope I will see you soon again. And if you like the video, like it, maybe even subscribe to the channel. I will not be promising that I will upload again soon, because I am a working person and life stuff. But yeah, see ya hopefully next time.